I am going to be doing the this or that tag today. I got tagged by the lovely Martha from I Love Reading 625, and it's 14 questions, so we better get started. Question number 1 is audio or book in hand? I have to say book in hand. I haven't listened to that many audiobooks. Like, I have the Harry Potter books, and those I've listened to like a million times, and those are great like when you're sick and you can't really focus when you're reading, or before you go to sleep or something like that, but I prefer to read. Okay, question number 2, soft or hardcover? I hate this question. I really don't like this question because I can never decide. Paperbacks are so much cheaper, and sometimes I really feel like reading paperback. Usually paperbacks smell better, but they get creaks in the spine, and hardcovers are much heavier than paperbacks, and they're more expensive, and yeah, but they're prettier, and sometimes they're easier to read. It's hard, I can't decide. Very don't like that question. Okay, I'm gonna move on before something happens. Question number 3, fiction or non-fiction? Fiction, definitely. I haven't read that much non-fiction actually, so yeah, fiction. Question number 4, fantasy world or real life issues? I'm afraid to say that I haven't read that many real life issues books, like realistic books, if you know what I mean. At least not lately. I guess Anne and the French Kiss is one, and The Notebook is one, and Rules of Attraction is one. Okay, I kind of read a few, but I prefer fantasy world to real life issues. Sometimes it's sweet with like a realistic book, but I prefer the fantasy world. Okay, question number 5. This is such a silly question because if you know me, you know what I'm gonna answer. Harry Potter or Twilight? Harry Potter, 1,000,000% Harry Potter over Twilight. Question number 6, Kindle, iPad, or other? I'm not a big e-reader. I've never even held a Kindle in my hands, but I have an iPad, so I'd have to say iPad. Sometimes I read stuff on that, not like real books, because I prefer to read like real books holding in my hand. But sometimes authors upload like downloadable PDF documents on their websites, like the Winter's Passage one. It was free for a while. I think it cost something now, I can't remember, but that was free for a while, and so we could download a PDF document from Julie Kagawa's website, and so I read that on my iPad and some other stuff. Question number 7, borrow or buy? What I like best is buy, because I like to have a book, and so that when I'm done with it I can look at it and pick it up and look up quotes and stuff, but it's much cheaper to borrow, so I don't do that very often, but I guess I'm gonna have to soon because I don't have that much money. But yeah, I prefer buy. Question number 8, bookstore or buy online? I like the atmosphere of bookstores. I go into bookstores a lot to just be there and look at the books and talk to my friends, because it's awesome being surrounded by books, but I never buy books in bookstores. I buy all my books online, like 100%. I haven't bought a book in a bookstore for, I can't even remember when, like 100 years ago. So buy online because it's so much cheaper. Question number 9, tell me one time or total trilogy? This is also a bad question because some books should really be singles, like I can't think of any good examples, but some books shouldn't be series, and some books should be series but are one book. And sometimes I love to read like big series. If the first book is good, I want it to be a series, and then I love that it's a series. But if the book is decent, I want it to be a single book, of course. If the ending is very closed up, if you know what I mean. There's a word for it, but I can't remember. If it's very like you get all the answers and everything's great, I think it should be a single, because if you were to read the second book in a series, there had to be some unanswered questions in the first book, I think. So but I think I'd have to say that I prefer series because, you know, if it's a really good book and there's only one, you get sad. Logic. So, yeah, total trilogy. Question number 10. Monster read or short and sweet? I like thick books during the winter. I like short books during the summer. That's what it is with me. I change so much depending on what time of the year it is. But I really, really like to get deep into a book and get to know the characters and stuff. So, a monster read is good for that. But short and sweet book is so short and so sweet. So these questions are so hard, and I feel like I'm really not answering any of them. But I think I'd have to say monster read. And when I think of a thick book, I think of 500 pages plus. So yeah. Question number 11. Starry-eyed romance or full of action? The thing is, I like both romance and action, but I do not like books about romance, but I do like books about action. I like Anne and the French Kiss though, but it's an exception. Anne and the French Kiss is an exception for everything because it's so awesome. But yeah, I really don't like romance novels, except for Anne and the French Kiss, but I really like action novels. So, but the best thing is action novels with romance. So, but I'd have to say I prefer full of action for that, because it never gets boring. Question number 12. Curl up in your snuggie or bathe in the sun? I do not have a snuggie, but I get the question. Curl up in my snuggie if I had one, definitely. I prefer sitting inside reading on a cold day to outside on a hot day. It's good that we don't have that long summers here because I do not like. I like summer, like every normal person likes summer, but in small doses. You know, I just love. My favorite time of the year is fall, like right now, when the leaves are orange and falling down everywhere, and it's reasonably warm, and yeah. So I prefer the curl up in a snuggie for that one. Question number 13. This, oh my god, the second to last question. Hot chocolate or latte? Is that how you say latte? Latte. I've never had a latte, so I love to say hot chocolate for that one because I love hot chocolate. Question number 14. The last question. Read the review or decide for yourself. This is another one of those weird questions. Of course, I decide for myself. I do not if I don't think a book seems good, but then read a great review about it, I'm not gonna get it because I always decide for myself. But of course, I take the reviews into consideration and stuff. I do not, just like Martha said in her video, I don't read or watch too many reviews on a book before I've read it because I'm so afraid of spoilers. So after I read a book, I watch a lot and read a lot of reviews to see other people's opinions. But some books, what is with my hair today? Some books like Anne and the French Kiss and like Divergent and stuff, you just can't avoid the reviews. They are everywhere, popping up like I don't know what everywhere. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but I guess I do both. I take reviews into consideration, but in the end I decide for myself. So yeah, this was my this or that tag. I have left the tagged people's names in the doobly-doo, so you can check that out because maybe I tagged you. And if you want to do it and you're not tagged, please do. It's just that I left a couple of names down there because I especially want those people to do this tag. It'd be really interesting to see their answers. But of course, you should do it because I want to hear everybody. And if you do, please leave it as a video response. It'd be great. So, thank you for this. Goodbye.